Alright, so now we have the floor and drain and the sideboards in, which the sideboards are kind of funky, and I'll explain that in a minute. If you noticed, before when we pulled the curb up, we have the pine instead of pressure treated 2x4s. Everybody does curbs differently. Well, in addition to the fact that he didn't wrap the curb with his pan. Anyway, so I use pressure treated 2x4s, there's 3 of them there, and we're going to wrap the pan over that. We're going to put the hardy plank on top of that, and wrap the whole curb with the hardy plank, and we're going to put red guard on. That thing won't leak. We're not concerned about that anymore. This is kind of funky. The guy used furring strips, 1x furring strips, to bump out the wall. Well, of course, when he did that, then he caused this issue here, where you have your mud cap tile and you've got probably a good 1/4 inch, if not more, popping out because of these furring strips on these 2x4s, which is again not normal or needed or any of the, I really don't know the method that he was using or what he was thinking. Obviously he wasn't, but the only choice I had was to follow his construction method and come in with furring strips, or come in with 1x, pressure treated 1x, which I did because I knew I was going to build the scabs in between the studs anyway. And so this actually served 2 purposes. It bumped me out to the same distance he is, and it also gave me something to rest my pan up against, which is what I always do. And if you'll notice, I used some thin set around the discrepancy. There was a very slight discrepancy where the old floor meets the new floor, and it's really redundant to have to put the thin set in there. I did it because it makes me feel better. Even where the corner is, where the wood meets the wood, it's redundant because, again, the shower pan is going to go up to this level anyway, and it will never be leaking back there or down here. But it looks better and it feels better. And the new drain is in and it's anchored down. And my customer actually asked me, he says that a shower leaks or is loose because they never anchored down when they put the shower fixture, and they never anchored it down properly, which I can't do anything about unless I go through that back wall. But he asked me if I could somehow anchor these 2 pipes, which I will before I close that up. And just in case you're curious, this is actually something having to do with steam shower or steam something or another. There's a control thing up there. It's out of service, but he wants me to keep that in there, so that's why I kind of cut around there on my board. And so that's kind of it. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and put the shower pan in and pour that and let that set overnight, and then I can do my floor tile at that point. So there we go. We're about probably halfway done right now. Alright, we're on day 2 here, and the shower pan is installed, wrapped over the curb, and about 8 or 9 inches up all the way around, and the shower pan was poured and is dry. So now is the time that we put the board on the back, wrapped all around, and put the red guard on, and it'll be ready to tile. Okay, so we're at the point now, I showed earlier where the pan was poured, and it got scraped down. The nice thing about doing these pans is that 24 hours later you can scrape it down and get to the exact point you want it. What you didn't see was the fact that I put the hardy backer back all the way around. And what you won't see is in the cracks on all 4 corners on both the curb and the walls, they got some thin set pushed in there so that it'll be nice and tight, watertight. And then of course over the hardy backer you see all this red guard. This red guard will actually go on pink, and it'll be bright red when it's dry. Curb is all done inside and out with the red guard, and the final thing that will go on the curb on this particular instance will be a piece of granite, and the granite's going to go from edge to edge, and the customer wants it to be over 1/4 of an inch and over this side 1/4 of an inch, so it'll be a nice tight seal on the very top. That's not an issue, and neither is the rest of it. we will be tiling the floor. That will be next. That will be grouted and tiled before the wall pieces go up, and then the job will be basically done. Alright, if you recall, when I first started the issue on this shower was a pan. Actually, he thought it was a pan, it was a curb. And what I've done, per the customer's request, is I've taken out the plywood that was on the bottom. You saw the tear out, and I changed out the drain, rebuilt the curb, used pressure treated 2x4s up, and half-inch hardy board, because that's the material being used. I used red guard on that. It got wrapped completely with the shower pan, and he decided he wanted a complete granite top so that there wouldn't be any grout lines on the curb. It's at a slight angle going into the shower. All the tile got put back up around. It got regrouted. Obviously there's new different tile down here. Drain is much better. It's newer actually, but also because the cuts are done right. And then the curb on the outside got tiled as well as the inside, grouted. And all I really have left to do, I'm going to run a bead of caulking. They use non-sanded grout when they put this tile in, which is a really big mistake. I think I mentioned that. So I'm going to put a bead of caulking all the way down the corner on both sides there and put the shower doors in, and I'm out of here. On to the next job.